Here we go. We're live.
Wonderful. So, welcome to the I Support Your Business event interview at ISYB, I Support Your Business. We are highlighting someone very special every day for 101 days. That's 101 businesses. My name is Val McCarty, and today we have Dan Nzinga as our guest, who is a coach and founder of some amazing events and communities. You're going to want to listen to this interview. Dan is right now in Boston, but he hails from Charlotte, North Carolina, usually in the US. And my co-host is Denise Belisle from Vancouver, British Columbia,
Hello.
Canada. Go ahead, Denise. I said it wrong.
Yeah, no, that's good. Denise Belisle. I said
Awesome.
hello.
Good stuff. And myself, I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So Dan and Denise, great to chat with you today. So let's just get right at it. I'm going to introduce Dan a little bit to you guys. Dan is a happy-go-lucky type of guy who loves people and enjoys creating new friendships and most of all, guiding people to transformation or learning something new. His greatest compliment is when people ask him for help, and his greatest satisfaction is when he can work his magic and make things happen to help others. So welcome, Dan. So great to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Well, listeners, grab a notepad and get ready to hear some amazing things. And while you're at it, tell a friend or two about this interview because they just might want to hear it as well. So, Dan, tell our viewers or listeners a little bit about your beginnings. I like to call it the what, why, and how of Dan.
All right. So I am an entrepreneur at heart because I was a basketball player. After playing college basketball, I went and played overseas. And so I played professional in Europe. And my goal was to make the NBA, but I didn't make it, but I had the dream. But looking back now, if I knew I wasn't going to make it, I would do the same thing because the chase was so fun. The journey was so great. And that's one of the things like I encourage people, just go after your dream, even if you don't get it, as long as it's a dream that you are liking the process, you're going to grow so much, so many things are going to happen. So the journey is truly the reward. And so from that, I always had an entrepreneur spirit of go get it, work hard, go do stuff. So I started organization. I was more of a nonprofit guy. I would start organizations, fundraising, stuff like that. I really wasn't a coach, only like a basketball coach I was for a while. And then in 2010, there was this big earthquake that happened in Haiti. You guys might remember 250,000
Yes.
died.
Yeah.
It was like a huge thing. And I was actually in Miami at the time, and I went down to help for a week. And I was so moved by what was going on. I said I had to help out. So I went back and I told my boss, I'm gonna go back for 3 more weeks. I gotta go help. And I ended up staying for 2.5 years,
Wow.
managing the camp that eventually grew from 14,000 to 20,000 people,
Mm,
like a survival camp. And that's when I
yeah.
actually started growing my leadership skills and growing my coaching, because it wasn't, to me, it wasn't coaching, but we were teaching folks how to read, like old folks how to read. We're teaching all these little fundamental things and life skills. And it was just so great for me because every book that I always liked, I could teach it back. So I got to translate stuff into another language and teach it. And every day was like, I was really feeling fulfilled. And that's why I knew I liked teaching, which is, it's the same family as coaching, because you have to teach it and then you have to coach to make sure they don't mess up. Like, you have to coach them through what you taught them. So I really enjoyed that 2.5 years of doing that kind of work. And so I guess that's where I would say I started coaching. It wasn't a business for me. It was just something I like, coaching people. And I took the Landmark Forum and I always counseled people. But it was never a business until COVID hit in my business. Had a vacation business, and it went kind of, I was on hold. And from that, because COVID, nobody could travel. So it was
No.
just hard to tell anybody any vacations. So, and then I took a 21-day challenge from Deepak Chopra. Somebody sent it to me. People were free. And I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And when I started taking it, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's on WhatsApp. They send you the stuff. You have something to listen to, something to read, something to write. And I just did the whole thing, and I got so much out of it. I was like, oh, I can do my stuff like this, because I always had these stuff that I had learned over the years, things I was teaching in Haiti that applied these universal principles. And I was wanting to like write a book about it, or do something to turn it into like to teach it. And so when I took the challenge and they gave me the idea, I was like, oh, I can do it this way. I can use the same method. And so I called all the people that I had added to the challenge, and come to find out that nobody actually did all of it. Like, you're supposed to write day one done, day two done. But some people listened to the audio, they didn't do the writing. Some people said the audio is too long, I just read it. Everybody just did their own thing, but they still said they're done. I was like, how do I figure out how to keep them accountable? Because coaching is mainly like support and accountability. Like cheerleader, I'm your cheerleader, and I'm going to keep you accountable. And so I just thought, and then I got the idea of, when they do the work, they have to take a picture of it and send it to me. So I'm in constant communication. And I put all my heart and soul into my first challenge. And later I realized that people do challenges so that they can sell something else. Usually, like they do a 5-day challenge, and the whole time it's like really a 5-day presentation about something. And you're like, get to the real part, and they're just selling you on what they're trying to sell. I didn't really have that. I didn't come from that. So I didn't know, because Deepak Chopra wasn't like that. It was like the whole thing. So I put everything inside of the challenge. That was the thing, right? And then so my challenges ended up being really good, and they're 21 days, and I give all these insights, and people are like, wow, this is so great, and miracles were happening. People were releasing music albums that they'd been trying to release in 10 years, and 21 days they did it. Some lady like quit her job, got her dream house, got a new car, was like, I'm living my dream. Like, it was just so crazy how much came out of it. That's when I was like, okay, I got something here. Let me try to turn this into a business. And I could say that's when my coaching started. So it was during COVID in 2020. Yeah, 2020 and COVID.
Well, that's
So that's
amazing.
when it started.
Yeah, the journey is the reward for sure. Hey, the journey is the reward. Look how far that journey has taken you. So I know you're also called, Dan, you're called the King of 21-Day Challenges. and so, and you're also known, because I know you talked to us a little bit about your 21-day challenge. And if anyone is listening right now, you could go to Weekend of Champions for Entrepreneurs, which we're going to talk about a little bit coming up. His website is absolutely fantastic. Dan, I know you're also known as the community man via your 21-day challenges, because you start and maintain online communities by keeping them active. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I kind of fell into the community thing. I thought the 21-day challenge was really my thing, until I had a coach, and the coach was like saying, you're not really, the 21-day challenge is really a product. And it's creating communities, and people would stay in the communities. And I had all these different challenges on different things, on working out, on selling, on spirituality. I just love creating these things. And I had all these challenges. And my idea was just to have a big community of people taking challenges. But really, coaches started coming to me and say, can you turn my content into 21-day challenge? I thought it was easy. I thought anybody can do it. I'm like, this is pretty simple. Anybody can do it. And they're like, no, it's not that simple. And I realized I have a talent for breaking things down. Like, I can get any book and just turn it into a 20-day challenge. I can get the Bible and turn it into a 21-day challenge. Pretty
Nice.
curriculum. Or just break it down into little steps and make them do little actions. It's like, tell them what to do, and just come, look what it is. So I started creating challenges for other coaches. And that's where I got the name as the King of 21-Day Challenges. And then because I just love doing them. I like putting the audio together with the little music in the background. Like, I like doing every part of it. I really enjoy doing that. And when somebody said that, I went and started taking all these other challenges to see if anybody was better. And up until now, I don't think anyone does it like I do it, like we do it, because, Tony Robbins, all these guys have these challenges on Facebook, but it's like no one's really talking to you. Like, you're not really you have to pay for VIP, and maybe I don't even know how that works. But mine is like you have constant communication the whole time. It's not a course I just give you. And if you don't finish it, you get removed from the challenge for next time. So it's really like someone's there with you, like cheering you on. And if you can't do it, then you get removed. So it turned into like a fun sport. And coming from my basketball background is kind of like a sports, go do it. But they're chasing their own dreams, their own goal. And the 21 day challenge, they set their own goal, and then now they have to go get it with the steps that we provide. So,
and there's someone there to keep them accountable and keep them motivated. Like, that sounds so awesome. I know I've heard it said of people that have natural talents, it's the same thing where they just think, well, it doesn't everybody know this, or doesn't anybody do this? So
Absolutely.
I totally understand that. So let's tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about your weekend of champions for entrepreneurs and creators. It sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So as over time, the community of people, action takers, entrepreneurs, coaches are in the community, taking challenges, reaching their goals, doing things. And I just wanted a space for us to meet together. So originally it was supposed to be a retreat where, I'm teaching something, or other coaches are going to bring other coaches come in. But then I just remember the dream team. If you guys remember the basketball dream team in '92, they just brought all the greatest players together, put them together, and just magic basically happened. Like, the great things happen. So I just know that when you put great people together, great things will happen automatically. Great conversations, great things happen. So it's my goal is to just get people that are up to something in life, people that want to achieve, and some people that come to Weekend of Champions are just starting a business. Some people are making $1 million a year. Some people make more. Like, it's all kinds of people, and we just mix together. But it's really fun because I emphasize on fun. I think that the number one thing, life should be fun, and your journey should be fun. So people will be at the beach, or we're going horseback riding, and their conversations come up on the bus. We see each other's courage, and then there is some teaching. We have some people that do come and do like a workshop, but I really emphasize on the fun and the getting together. Coming together is like the juice of it all. So
Wonderful.
It was like, what are they going to talk about? Like, what they're going to talk about is great, but it's what everybody's bringing something, because you're bringing your own experience, you're bringing your own stuff. And
But that's
I don't want
sort of
anybody,
a mastermind, right? It's sort of people
kind
getting
of, it's
together
kind
as a
of, but it's just natural.
mastermind
It's
and
like
supporting one
organic.
another.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to just come and just take notes and go. Like, you
Yeah.
come to give notes that you've gotten all your life.
Yes,
Right?
learn by doing. Learn by doing. Yeah, learn by doing and connecting and being supported by all of those around you. It sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
So
So the
your
next one
webs.
is
Go ahead.
the next one is in October, and anybody who's listening that's up to something, that has things to contribute and want to collaborate with other people, I'm inviting you. You're welcome to come. It's in Dominican Republic. The last one we did in Colombia, in South America. We like to do them international because it's just more fun. You get a bike ticket, you're going to a whole other country, you're gonna be on the beach. So it's a vacation at the same time, but you're learning and you're meeting people, friends for life. And then, like always after these things, I'll see people that didn't know each other before that met in the Weekend Champions on a trip together in Canada or somewhere else. And it's like, I love making connections. I've also been called like the angel of connection. I love connecting people together. So
Wonderful. So again, for our listeners and viewers, that's Weekend of Champions for Entrepreneurs and Creators. And Dan's, he's got a couple of, you have a couple of websites, right? So it's Dannzinga.com. So DANNZINGA.com. And then there's Nzinga Plus, right? .com.
yeah, Nzinga, but you can find everything on Nzinga.com mainly. That's because everything you're gonna buy, like the Nzinga Plus, is still in the works. It's supposed to be for like something more special, something more things. So I'm still working on it. But everything that, as far as the Weekend of Champions, I have a charity. We have a charity. Everything that we do, you can find on Dan Nzinga Plus. Just go into programs, and you'll see different stuff. So yeah, and if there's a coach that wants us to help them create their own 21-day challenge and their own community, because they're great at creating communities of people who are actually taking action, not just people who join just to don't do anything. Like, they're coming because they're interested in your topic. So if you're a health coach, you create a 21-day challenge coach. You're a spiritual coach. No matter what you are, you can niche it down and find your right people. It's just a great lead generator.
Wonderful. And I also hear that there's some videos that you have worked on and that you are working on. You're getting a YouTube channel together too. Did you want to tell our listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah. So again, Dan Nzinga, they can go on my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I have 500 right now, and I just started these last 2 years is when I went to Dominican Republic. I had always had a dream to travel 2 years and to learn Spanish. I didn't know any Spanish, and now I'm like having full on conversations. I'm like almost fluent, I guess. I have full relationships and conversation with people that don't speak any English. So I would say I speak Spanish. And so I went, and it was just such a great experience. I went to Costa Rica, Mexico. That was my dream, is to be location free and to coach from my computer and coach people and meet people and grow my charity. And so now that it's been 2 years, I'm starting to tell the story again from the beginning, of, and it happened from like, I had the dream, but it wasn't really possible. Then divorce happens, and then it's like, okay, so now I'm free. So the guys out there who are like, oh no, so bad, there is life after this, at the other side of the mountain, there could be happiness. You can even go more happy if you're depressed.
Yeah, it's like what we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what we talked about at the very beginning of this interview. The journey is the reward. So again, wherever you are in your life, you're on some portion of that journey, right? Yeah. So great. So listeners and viewers, a call to action. So go to Weekend of Champions for Entrepreneurs and Creators and definitely check it out. That's danzinga.com. And Denise, did you have any questions that you'd like to ask Dan before we wrap up?
Yeah. I have one thing in mind is the work that you do and the people that reach you. Are they seasoned professional, or do you help also people that are just starting?
No, actually, it's mainly for coaches that are just starting, mostly. And actually, one of the challenges, like we have like some challenge that I even let them use. So I have a program. If there's someone who wants to coach, but they don't have a program, but they don't have content to coach, we have like this 4-month coaching program, like 4 of my good challenges that I say, okay, you can use this, and you can even record the audio and put your voice in it so you can follow your people. Some people just like your voice more than mine. My goal is to have communities of transformation everywhere, so they can use you can use the content, change the voices you need to, make it your own, and it doesn't matter. Just get it and then create your own WhatsApp group that's for you, and you can really adapt it how you want to. And so I just teach people, I help them do that, and I kind of teach them, make sure they understand the content so they can re-explain it. But after that, there's so many opportunities to coach inside of the 21-day challenge, because people get stuck. Some people don't understand. There's so many distinctions inside of it. So it's great if someone wants to be a coach but they don't have a program yet, or somebody's been a coach but they're trying to sell their high ticket, and it's easier if you have a community than it's like to strangers. So even seasoned coach is great. New coaches, I love them even more because they're,
great. So all new coaches or those that haven't, succeeded yet as making money, forever, like reach
this
out.
will get you started, and I teach them how to make money out of it. This will definitely get them started to do this program.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Dan, for sharing so much of yourself with us in this short little interview. And again, it's 101 businesses, 101 days. I support your business, and it's a fantastic thing. I guess that sort of wraps it up, Denise.
Yes, thank you so much for all the listeners, and thank you, Dan.
Yes, most definitely.
Give my phone number, 720-515-8613. 720-515-8613. You can text me, WhatsApp me, you can call me, and or text me Weekend of Champions, and I'd love to get you guys in.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, listeners, for hanging in there with us. And we'll